Hey, what's up, everybody? We are live, just a few minutes late, but I mean, I feel like in this era of video calls,
Jake's fault.
like did you say Jake's fault? I'm not
It
here to,
is. It is. It is. It is. It is.
I'm not here to, blame anybody, but if I were to blame someone, it would be Jake. Uh, so anyway, we're live here. This is the People of Packaging podcast, and I'm the host, Adam Peak. You can find me on TikTok at Packaging Pastor. You can find me on LinkedIn, and I think that's really. I'm trying this new one. I don't Be Real. It's kind of okay. I'm not really sure what's up with Be Real, but anyway. I'm so excited for this interview, and even this morning I was like, "Oh, that's right. Kirk Visola knows Jake, and Kirk is a rad dude. So let's have him come on." So, Kirk, why don't you introduce yourself to the three people who don't know you?
Hi, what's up, everybody? My name is Kirk Visola. I'm the founder and creative director of Mind the Font, but I'm also everywhere. Just type in Kirk Visola in your little Google search, and you'll find me. That's the easiest way to say it.
Still the coolest hoodies around, and you're rocking one right now.
VSLAbrand.com is my website for hoodies and stuff like that. But today is about Jake. We're gonna get to him right now. And Jake, introduce yourself, brother.
Okay. Well, I apologize for being late. It was my fault, as Kirk was pointing out down on the screen there. Yeah, I'm just fired up. I'm one of the co-founders here at Midday Squares. I like to go by Rainmaker as the title because who cares about titles nowadays? And for me, the whole goal of this, I'm pumped to just have a conversation with two great folks, like two individuals that, I like a lot. I actually love both your personalities. And I think it's a lot of fun to, I think the whole journey of Midday Squares is it's great to win big in chocolate and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like the people I get to meet on this journey are what makes it great. And I know it
No
sounds
doubt.
so cheesy. It sounds so cheesy, but that's the truth. So fired up about this. Let's have a good time. You see these biceps?
Wow, wow. Is that what if I just ate more midday squares, could I get
That's
those
it,
kind
man.
of?
It's 12 grams of protein per serving per pack. So
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
I have a wonderful dad bod that I'm working on, but I do have 5 kids, so I feel like I'm in like relative good shape for like having five children. Man, I appreciate that. Yeah, I totally agree. So here's kind of what we're gonna do. And for those of you who can't join it live, the video is gonna be up on YouTube. It's gonna be living on LinkedIn. Please like drop some comments in. It looks like we already got a few people. Oh, Kirk's partner in crime,
Andy?
Andy
Jeremy.
Kurtz.
Amy. All right.
Andy Kurtz coming through. He just assumed Kirk. You know what's funny? Kirk was having technical difficulties before the call. You absolutely nailed it. But
Shut up, Andy. No one likes you.
we got it figured out. And then we got Joseph. Looking forward to meeting next week. I'm not sure. Maybe Joseph, you and I are meeting next week. I'm not sure who's meeting with Joseph next
Yeah,
week.
I don't know,
but,
Joseph. Sorry.
we'll meet. Someone is going to meet with you.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Legendary.
Yeah. We got Dustin coming in from Minneapolis. He's a packaging engineer. Andy's here. Anyone just drop, hey, if you're here and you're live, we want to chat with you. If you got questions for Jake and just what they're doing at Midday Squares, please drop them here in the comments. We'll try to answer them. Here's what I wanted to do first, though. All right. So first, I wanted to play your Hershey's diss track because I want to hear all about this. I want to hear about like what possessed you to be like, all right, let's drop some. Actually, do you want to do that? Do you want to give us like a quick like
Intro.
This is why we decided like we're gonna make a parody of Eminem and drop a Hershey's diss track because that's wild.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. So first off, I'm actually a fan. I still am a fan of the Hershey brand. I like to say that, Reese's and all that stuff. But I grew up on that kind of stuff. So no, long story short, because it's a very long story, we went through a process of discussing with Hershey's to potentially be acquired. We don't want to be acquired. Our goal at Midday Squares is a long vision to build a new age chocolate company. People say that's crazy to think, but why can't a company in today's world go past the $100 million marker and actually continue going without selling, right? So for us, that's our goal, is to build a legacy brand. And we ended up getting in some troubles with packaging infringements of the color orange. And it was this whole debacle, and we couldn't fight anything in court because our legally it costs a lot. It's a lot of time suck, energy. So we're good at creative. We're a creative company. We like to storytell. I think storytelling is an old trick that not everyone uses to their advantage, but they should.
Mm.
And what we did was we just basically said, we are Midday Squares. We don't want to be anyone else in this industry. We respect everyone, but we are ourselves, and we are not trying to copy anyone. And that's why we did the parody in a music video to Eminem's My Name Is What? And it was Chaka Gone Crazy. And it was basically a track showing who we are, that, we are in CPG, but we could play around in different categories. And that at the end of the day, like, this is our identity, no one else's. And it was really bold because it got picked up. It went wild. And, we wanted Hershey's to come back in a creative way, maybe do their own track back at us, but that didn't happen. So,
No.
but it did have a lot of fun. It got picked up by a lot of press. It got a lot of views on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, not so much, but every other platform, yes.
Yeah.
And
which is funny that it didn't on YouTube, but whatever.
No, it didn't on YouTube for some reason. But what's crazy about the experience is it was $65,000 for this full production, from A to Z, from learning how to sing to rap, I guess, to actually writing out the song, to filming for 12-hour days of footage, and then 3 months of editing. So it was really a crazy process that my sister pulled off with her creative team. And like I said, it got us a lot of buzz, and our community got fired up from it. And that's what's important, is that it was authentic to who we are.
No doubt. Well, like Ben said, hey, we need these positive Friday vibes. So Ben, man, we appreciate you. And I agree, man, just positive vibes. I think the kids might say the vibes are immaculate. Is that something that the kids would say? I don't know. So let's watch.
The vibes are funky fresh.
The vibes are funky fresh. So I'm going to queue up this video. Hopefully y'all can listen. I think that the audio comes through. I've actually never done this before. So
well, this is a great time to try.
It's a great time to try. Yeah. Let's hit play and watch this thing.
My name is what? My name is gone crazy. My name is what?
This is fucking amazing.
My name is gone crazy. My name is.
And Jake, anytime you want to drop in with some
tidbits,
let us know
about how you bribe the kids with chocolate in the classroom.
Hi kids, do you like chocolates? Wanna see me eat squares and drip chocolate out of my eyelid? Wanna copy me? Do it exactly like I did.
Is it weird watching yourself, Jake?
Get people excited. My brain face can't even get my laundry straight. My girl's getting tired of doing it up my mom's place. And listen,
Jake Karls, you got chicken legs, so stop lifting, try some squats instead.
well, since age 12, felt like I got a story to tell. Had to jump ship when my last company sunk like a lead barbell. Got pissed off, ripped Supreme's branding off, but our bars knocked it so hard we make diamonds out of chocolate sauce. I got dumped, got on brand. My whole life I've been a candy man. Can't sit still, it's my ADHD meal plan. Come on here, Kroger.
Jakey, stop dancing. It's a meeting, dog.
I don't give a fuck. I'm the freak who takes his shirt off.
My name is. Gone crazy. My name is.
Oh my god.
My name is.
This is so good.
This is so fucking great.
My name is. My name is. Gone crazy. My name is. My name is. Gone crazy. My business teacher wanted to funk.
I really hope that the audio is recording, or else it's going to be the worst podcast. It's just
Money MDS, I get the paper.
laughing.
Profit generator. They call me money maker. Walked in the plant without my lab coat zipped up. My wife's my boss, that's why my life's so tripped up. But if I don't get no ass, that ring is getting flipped up. While Jake is playing flip, and still a brand is on its way up. My name is. My name is.
Oh man, that's your brother-in-law, right, Jake?
My name is.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law.
My name
That's
is. Gone crazy. My name is.
I wish you guys got along. It would make things a little bit better at Midday Squares.
My name is gone crazy.
Stop the plan. These bars need to be stopped today. Nick, don't just stand there, operate. I'm the CEO, whatever I say goes. Need a babysitter, Nick and Jakey, drop the Lego. Are we crushing or crashing? I could barely decide. I just drank a fifth of vodka. Dare me to go live? All my life I was dying inside. Never knew someone like me with the brain and the balls to try. Crew love riding with us from the start. I'm thick as my bars, my lawyers never too far. Joke is on ya, you wipe me up and get no ass. How you gonna divorce me, Nick? I spent all your cash. I lay awake and strap myself in the bed with an apnea mask on and the retailers in my head. This is our launch pad, and by the way, when you see Hershey, tell them I took their business down to this dream I had.
My name is
So good.
My name is
Man.
probably gone crazy. My name is My name is You're probably gone crazy. My name is You're probably gone crazy.
This is one of my favorite things I've seen in CPG
So great.
in many years.
Well, the biggest thing is,
I wish they would have responded with creativity.
the funny thing is like, what's Hershey gonna do? Like, you can't reply to this because it gives you validity, but by not replying, it also gives you validity. It's just like it's a lose-lose for them. Like,
And I think for us is, I think what we really wanted to show was you can do whatever you want in your whatever industry you're in. For us, it's CPG, but you can go play in the entertainment space. You can go create a music video. And I think that people don't think big enough. I know Kirk, he motivates me all the time to pump, go harder, and be, all this stuff, which is great. And I think there's a lack of that in this world. There's a lack of energy or thought to break the ceiling or break the mold. And my goal in life is to show people, at the end of the day, you can win at whatever winning is for you or anyone at the highest level by being yourself, and not being someone else, not copying everything or doing exactly what the herd does, right? And that's really what I'm focused my whole life on next 40, 50 years on, is that.
That's amazing. And, I will go because, it's my podcast and I'm the packaging pastor. I'll go a little pastoral here for just a second, but I believe that creativity is the most divine thing about humanity. And I love just seeing people get like mad creative and just doing different things and swimming in blue oceans. And like, why does, like you said, like, why do you have to sell? Like, why do you have to follow that path? Why not give your brand this crazy wild voice?
yeah,
And like you said, like drop 65 grand on a music video. When you could have easily dropped 65 grand on Facebook ads or whatever, but like everyone else is going to do. But you're like, no, let's do this. It kind of reminds me actually of a meeting I had with Squatty Potty, if you know those guys down in they're in St. George, and
unicorn poop.
Yeah, so that video, like I talked to them because they were on Shark Tank, and then they were also they made these YouTube videos with unicorns pooping out ice cream, and they were like, yeah, those videos helped our brand, just as much, if not more, than going on Shark Tank did. So, they got super creative and did something fun and different, and they make a stool for you to poop easier, but like they made it fun, and that's super cool, man.
Jake, that one thing that really, and Andy mentioned this too, one thing that really I think sells your brand is that people will buy you before they buy what you sell. They will love the transparency that you give, the authenticity that you give. I mean, the one thing that really got me started on following you guys was the entire process of the packaging redesign, right? Because I'm a packaging dude. And seeing how you went through things, and the first iteration looked like Unreal chocolate, you're like, fuck, okay. And there was arguments, there was vitriol, there was, wins, there was losses. It's like, that was a real thing. I'm so sick of hearing, and I talk to my friend Jeremy about this all the time, about people saying we're crushing it. We're crushing it. We're crushing it. It's like bullshit. You're not always crushing it. You're doing what you can to get by in business, and you're doing what you can to make your brand successful. And you guys totally break the mold with that. Like, other brands that do that well are Liquid Death. Like, I haven't even tried their water, but I know them. I know their product. And you guys are like, Midday Squares is just great. Like the Reed version Ellen dance you did, right? And choreography dance. It's just mind blowing. You guys do the shit that people think about doing but don't do because they're afraid they won't be accepted. They're afraid that they can't be themselves, and that's exactly what you're doing. You said that already, but I love everything you guys are doing, man. Just keep it up, seriously. And it's good. I cannot get the peanut butter. I cannot get that shit out of my head, man. It is so good. And it's,
you know what?
Good, Jake.
You said it right, Kirk. You said it right. It's people don't want to put the work in to get it done. And they don't also want to do it because they're scared of judgment or fear of something, a failure, let's call it. And another thing that I think is why do you have to look a certain way at the level that you want? Why does a CEO, for example, have to wear nice clothes or dress up or be this certain way? Why can't they, if they want to smoke weed on camera, do that? If that's what they want to do, or if that person wants to do, why can't you do it? So for us, it's like, if you're going to tell me to be a certain way, then I quit. I'm done. I'm done this journey. I don't care how much money comes in or whatever it is. That's not fun. What's fun is being yourself every day, even though there's shit that happens. Like you said,
Yes.
Kurt, we had a journey of packaging changes that was so difficult. It was emotionally draining. It was almost the end of the company in terms of just morale, emotionality. And we've been in scenarios where we've had almost been bankrupt in this company, and we share those moments with $5,000-$10,000 in the bank account and a payroll that we have to pay. And these are real things for us. It's not about just the good or the greats. It's about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because Shark Tank is a great show, and I think it's an unbelievable show to promote entrepreneurship. But I think what needs more on that show is the depth and authentic side of the hard part of the what actually goes into building a business.
Yeah.
What is the side that we don't see? How do you develop packaging? How do you go through that process? How do you build a manufacturing plant? How do you hire? These are things that are like, okay, no one talks about that. Everyone talks about, oh, we got into this retailer, or we did this, we got this investment.
We're crushing it.
Yeah, crushing it. Don't get me wrong, that stuff's great too, and you have to have fun and celebrate, and we do that too. But at the end of the day, the real shit that happens you should not shy away from sharing that honest journey, because that's what actually builds community. That's what gets people amped up, fired up, and wanting to be part of whatever you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I woke up this morning, and Kirk knows this, like me and my 14-year-old son, and Kirk's been helping us out a ton on designing packaging for it. So, but like we're launching a men's skincare product. It's for dry elbow skin. It's called Weenus Lube. So I think that's the first time I've publicly said that. But so like I literally woke up this morning like I can do that.
Much better.
But I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do bookkeeping. I was like so nervous about like, oh, am I going to get like the most ridiculous thing at 4:00 in the morning about like trying to like help my son learn about business through high school and I'm like, I'd rather have you like, let's start a company together. I want to do it with all my kids. Like, let's start a company together. If it fails, it fails. Right. But at least you'll know about marketing, about, like Kirk was awesome with him on design stuff. And, yeah, it's like, it's so great to kind of like build in public. And I think we're seeing so much more of that. Like people who are willing to go out and say, hey, I've created an online community, but it's got to be more than just like, oh, I have X amount of followers. It's like, no, I have an engaged community. I was thinking about the term like network ethic. Like how hard does your community work with one another to build one another up? And it seems like you have really done an incredible job to date building up that community. Well, it's not going to be, you don't have as many followers as, whoever, but like you have a really dedicated community of people who are
happen
about your product.
Yeah, that's going to happen too, man. I mean, like,
no doubt.
There's a certain authenticity and energy that comes from you, Jake. Like you exude it, like you exude this happiness, but everyone knows you're not always happy and you're always stressed out. Like after you guys got the valuation, and I said, just be sure to keep your circle close. And also to get rest, because people are going to be coming at you wanting a piece of you, and people are going to be wanting like, oh yeah, I remember we're doing this, and with their hands out, right? So my advice to you as a full-time chocolatier entrepreneur myself, not really, but just make sure, man, you're taking care of your mentals, and like Marshall Lynch says, take care of your chicken, right? Like you got to make sure you're taking care of your people and yourself, and keep that circle close, because I don't want you to burn out. That's my thing, because I get so much enjoyment from watching you that oftentimes, like, I think of you as being this supernatural robot, but you're not. You're just a dude, right, that loves what he does. And keep being able to take care of yourself so we can continue to see that love, man. I really appreciate watching MDS come up.
Yep.
Yeah. And Kirk, you crushed it on that, and
Crushing it.
Life's not easy, and we all know that. Right?
That was loud. Sorry.
Life's not easy, and I think you could be crushing it in business, but not crushing it in life. Last year, 2021, was a really tough year for me. Not for the business. The business was on fire, in my opinion. Revenues were growing crazy. The team was growing, but my happiness was not growing, it was declining. And I noticed that I didn't give love to that. I didn't pay attention. I was putting it under the rug. Every time I'd feel a certain way, I would just go do something else to distract myself from that. And I started to realize that I lost my purpose of why I'm doing everything I do. And I'm just trying to chase all this noise, this stuff out there. Or this person got that headline, that did this. I was trying to be that. And I was going crazy mentally inside. I was like, I started to dislike what I was doing. I started to say to myself, okay, I don't even want to be here. I don't want to be part of this. And I went with my therapist. We have a business therapist we see once a week. I started seeing him more than that and working with him on how to understand what's going on. And I realized that I went through a phase where I lost track of things and I just focused on the wrong things. I got involved where the herd gets involved. I started doing what I'm not great at. I started playing those games, and I suffered in the sense of just being like, you know what, this is not as glorified as I thought it would be. Even though things are crushing it, I don't feel that way. And it's okay that I don't feel that way.
Right.
I started climbing the hill, and it took 6 months to climb back up. And when you say burnout, Kirk, that was close to a burnout, because that was okay, mentally I'm done, physically I'm tired. So it was both collapsing, but because I checked in with myself and I actually actively tried to fix that, I got better. And what I mean by better is just I feel more energized and I feel alive again. But I know that there's going to be the mountains and the valleys, but you just got to find that flow that you're comfortable with and always stay true to who you actually are, and not the noise, or not what's on media all the time, not all that stuff. So you're right. It's not always great, even though your business is great. It's ugly too.
So I love that. And I agree here with, is this Corey Higgins chimed in, and, she says, well said, right? If it's, it's good to talk about all the transparency in business. And it's also really important to talk about how we're all humans and we're not, robots, and to kind of be true and vulnerable and authentic. Heather Leiter chimes in. I really appreciate your vulnerability in business and life. No doubt. That kind of is going to carry through. So let me stay true to who I am and who this podcast is. So you had mentioned this packaging transformation, and I don't want to give you post-traumatic packaging stress disorder, PTSD, but I was unaware of that, honestly. So I'm for many reasons glad that I can call Kirk a good friend and have him come on here and talk about it. But just walk the listeners or the watchers through, or the viewers through that journey of the difficulty, and then ultimately what looks to me like the victory. I see your packaging and I'm like, oh, it's victorious. So kind of walk through that process a little bit.
Yeah. And again, you see the victory, or you see where we're the positive side of getting there. Because I don't think anything's perfect in this world. But I think you might have not felt what we had to go through that time crunch to change it, and how much moments of almost failure or close to failure happened, and the ups and downs. So when we shared this video that Kirk was talking about, which is on social media, and so probably on Instagram or something, but it was basically showing how the interaction went with why we had to change it, because we had legal documents, cease and desist for the packaging. We had 3-4 weeks to do it, man. And what happened is you had to find inspiration. We went and found things, and the next, we had a great idea, and that idea came, and we started making it. We were all pumped up, and then guess what? We didn't check that Unreal Snacks had something exactly the same, and that brings you back to square one. So you go backwards, and you're on this time crunch where you're freaking out, and just the emotionality is so high. The pressure is extremely high, because you have an actual time clicker that says, okay, or else something bad's going to happen. Right. And I just remember my team, they almost burnt out. And even one of our team members, she's no longer with us. She changed companies, but she worked so hard to get this packaging off the ground because we really truly didn't want to be anyone else. And it goes back to our morals. We want to be ourselves, Midday Squares, and no one else. And that's what happened. 3 to 4 weeks of absolute chaos every day. The whole team helped out because even teams from customer experience, from sales, everyone kicked their efforts in because otherwise it wouldn't have got done. And was something we put on the packaging that I'm proud of. I think it was my sister's idea, is we put our faces on the back of the packaging. And what we did with that was not to show, oh, look at me, blah, blah, blah. It was to say that these are the human. There is
It humanizes it. Yeah.
It's not about ingredients are important and proteins and all that stuff are important because that's functional stuff. But I don't need to go tell you 100 different feature benefits on there. I'd rather you understand that you're buying not from a massive corp, which there's nothing wrong with massive corporations, but you're buying from a company that is still a family business. It's exciting. And we want you to feel the energy, the positive energy that we offer. That's something that we invest so much in. So that was a way for the consumer to start to say, oh, well, now I know these people. I feel like I'm buying from a friend, not really from this just chocolate company, right?
Yep.
But packaging's hard. And we're repackaging right now, actually. I don't know if I told you boys, but we're moving to 1 square. So from 2 squares. So the whole package is changing. And I'm watching the team do it now. And it's almost post-traumatic stress, but they have till June 1st till that whole thing goes out. So it's the same type of thing, just with not a legal side to it, more just a have to change from a standpoint of operations.
Right.
Well, that should be super easy given that there's no supply chain constraints in packaging right now. So you should be able to get all of it redone and printed and made,
Snap.
just like that. I mean, if you can if you have a DeLorean that can go back to No,
That's
I
how
get
it
it, man.
works.
It's tough. It's
That's how
tough,
it
no
works.
doubt.
But you get it done.
Of course.
That's the thing, man. And to go back to the whole idea of what you're bringing to the table is the love, care, concern, and good vibes. Like that's what's needed now, especially in any brand. And the brands that are successful do that, but they also have a good product. And like I said before, man, the product is amazing. The packaging is fun. The product's amazing. The company itself is its own entity. Like Midday Squares is its own entity. I don't even think of it as being chocolate. I think of it as an experience, and that's what people need right now, especially in today's world, is an experience. When you go somewhere, when you do something, you want an experience. Disneyland is an experience. Going to the movies right now isn't really an experience. So how do they get over that hump? It's like there's certain aspects in your life and things that you do everyday consumption wise. Like no other chocolatier gives you this experience, right? And I like saying chocolatier because I think you guys is the modern day Willy Wonka. Like that's how I feel. Like it's just fun. It's not quite magical yet, but it almost feels that way just because of the eclectic shit you guys do. Like it's all over, but it all works. Yeah. And that's what I really love, man. And when I met you at Expo, you guys were demoing out the squares, and like we met. And you're like, oh shit, oh yeah, hey, what's up, Kirk? How you doing? Thanks for making comments. And just like little things like that. And you guys also handwrite notes in your packaging, right? Like when you send something off, there's a note in there saying, thank you for your purchase. Appreciate your business. People like that. Nothing is more like authentic than someone actually putting their literal signature on something, right? When they send it to you. Like Adam, when I send you stuff, I wrote a little note in there saying, hey, thanks for the hoodie purchase and thanks for being a friend, yada, yada, yada.
You sent one to the CEO of Weenus Lube when I bought one for AJ.
So that's it, man. The authenticity and just I'm a huge fan, brother, and I want nothing but best things for you. Your win is our win, and keep crushing it, both in life, and in your own life and in the business world. So, yeah,
be bold and be yourself. Be bold and be yourself.
Yeah,
and unless you can be Batman, always be Batman.
I like Batman. But side note, before you kick it off there, I just want to say the Polaroid picture that you're talking about, the handwritten note. What I want to do is shout out the person that does it, and that's my mother. She does it out of her spare time, from 7 p.m. to like 11 p.m. every day. She spends 4 hours writing. I think she's done 400 plus or 500 plus thousand notes just to customers, and she genuinely does it. And like we offer to pay, we do everything we can, and she doesn't take the money because to her it's the love for her kids and stuff. But it brings another story. It's like, okay, you have a cottage industry, and she has like 3 people working with her that she pays. So it's the funniest thing. And it's like this other industry within my family. And it's like, it's real. This isn't like something where we're typing it up, and that's okay too to type it, but we have made it a priority to stay with day one activities. That is a day one activity that we did, and we're not changing it, because that touches, Kirk, like you said, the actual emotional of the consumer, not just the transactional side, right?
Yep.
So yeah.
100.
Yeah. I've got 2 final questions here, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. So my first is because this is kind of the general theme I'm getting is, it feels like sometimes customer, or I say customers, but brands will be like, well, what we want our brand to have sort of like its own voice. And I'm not saying that's bad, but it feels to me like you and your family, your sister, your brother-in-law, everyone involved at Midday Squares was like, well, what if we just collectively take who we are as individuals and breathe life into our brand, right? And like see where that takes us. So it was almost like, our identity is going to come from who we actually are, not crafting an identity for this other thing that exists out there. Was that an intentional call that you did, or did it just sort of like morph over time?
So when I joined as the third founder, they already developed the actual R&D and the product to launch, and they started like getting everything ready. And they said to me, "We need you to build noise." And I said, like, what does that even mean? Like they're like, build community. I was like, and I said to them, let's go to the grocery store and let's walk through the aisles, the grocery store aisles, and go through the products and see how many brands make you feel like special, or make you feel inside an emotional connection. So some feeling, not just product consumption, but a feeling. And then we went and we couldn't find. So I said to them, I said, you know what? I don't really want to be part of this, because it's the industry. Yes, it's great and all from a standpoint of growth and all that stuff. But I said, it's missing the community stuff. It's missing that. And then it kicked in my mind that I was watching Shark Tank. My girlfriend was watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And I was looking at Elon Musk's social media following. And I said, what's common in these 3 things is it's their storytelling. There's storytelling. There's building out loud. There's all this type of stuff. But I said in Shark Tank, you have the entrepreneurship being promoted, right? Not at a very surface level area, not depth. Then I said with Keeping Up the Kardashians, you have drama. So whatever, people like the drama, they want to be attracted to drama or feeling the drama. And then from Elon Musk, whether you like him or not, he's building out loud. So he's building out loud, sharing his journey, where people are becoming fans of that and then buying his products. Tesla obviously can't buy SpaceX, but Tesla, he has other stuff too. And I said, why don't we just make a baby of those 3? That's when all joy is that. And it was just basically a reality show on how we build the business and use what we're going through, the 3 of us, now 65 of us, and use that as the voice. And what ended up happening is it then turned us into no longer just a chocolate bar. It turned us into humans that are sharing a crazy story and giving us inspiration. We're no experts, don't get me wrong. We do everything wrong a lot of the time, to be honest with you, but we're able to be ourselves. And that's a big picture problem we have in this world, is people are creating a narrative that isn't them every day. Yep. So we do that the other way to inspire. And that's where the business is going, is can we build the modern day Willy Wonka with good vibes and an innovative way of communication?
Willy Wonka.
I love it.
I'm glad that your baby didn't turn out like the Swamp Thing. It actually came out to be a cute baby, and it's thriving. So that's good. That's Adam, awesome. you had a second question, Adam?
I did, yeah. And we'll kind of give everyone sort of like a last comment after this. But Dustin wrote on there, your website says sold out. And I was like, oh, I probably could have checked that before I put the website down below. So, but how do people like, I mean, obviously connecting with the brand is done a lot through social and, maybe some live events, but like, how do people go? Are you in retailers? Is it just online? Like, how do people get your chocolate?
So Dustin, first of all, great question. This is currently a moment of struggle that we're going through, is ops basically over demand came in, and it's taking a beating on the operation side, the manufacturing team. Everyone's having it basically overflowed. So we had to shut off online to slow down and build the inventory because we wouldn't have for retailers, right? And we felt that retailers are a way for people to go out to their stores, get one bar if they want to at a time. So all our stores are stocked up, our retailers, but our online website's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. And this is the first time we've ever done that on not even pre-selling, just sold out completely in our 3.5 years. So that's how much struggle we're going through right now. That being said, it's available at all retailers. So in the US, you've got Sprouts, you got some Whole Foods regions, you got one of the big retailers coming on in September that will give you within every 5 kilometers of every American. And then in Canada, all the big retailers here and small ones as well. You can go to our website and see the store locator page to find it, but we're available in the refrigerator.
I just realized that I had a typo on this banner. I was like, to learn, get your own. I'm like, oh, I didn't even proofread that. That's how. But yeah, you can see here middaysquares.com. So you guys have a retail locator from, a couple weeks from now. It sounds like you can start ordering some stuff online. So that'll be great. Jake, I really appreciate you coming on. Oh, Kirk changed up his name.
It's been that way the whole time, man.
No, it is
the whole
not.
time. LFG.
LFG, baby.
I swear it's been that way the whole time.
Oh, okay. But man, I really appreciate it. Kirk, do you have any kind of final thoughts? Then Jake, I'll turn it over to you to we started it with wrapping it in, and I'll let you wrap it up. But you don't need I don't need like 16 bars of freestyle from you or anything, so you don't feel that pressure.
Don't need to spit that hot fire. Jake, I'm really a fan. I'm happy with what you guys are doing. Just keep doing what you do, man, and take care of yourself. Keep your circle tight. Look out for busters. That's all I got to say, man. All the best, brother.
Kirk, I love you, man, and I love the messages. Don't stop sending me those things. I truly feel them when you send this stuff to me, and it makes me feel like you're in my corner, and I know you are. So, and then Adam, you as well. Seriously, man, I'm grateful that you brought me on to share my story, share our story, and I had a lot of fun with you, and you make me laugh even on our first call. I think you've got a humor that's just, I can't explain what type of humor it is, but it's joyful.
Very dry.
It's dry, but it's funny, and you make me happy. So thank you for that. And everyone else that listened or watched, let's keep grooving.
1 million. And you gotta come on my other podcast too, man. I'm gonna hunt you down.
Hunt me. You have my phone number. Hunt me.
I do.
Yeah, that's great. And Megan, I totally agree. Mom's helping build the brand that was such a cool story. I loved all your stories, Jake.
I'm gonna have to be sure to make sure there's any elderly abuse going on. And you secretly got mom with a big pin taped to her hand. You will finish these Polaroids before 11. Then you can go to bed.
She then watches TV and then goes to bed at like 12:30. So
mom's a gangster, man. That's all I gotta say.
We call her the Polaroid queen.
She wasn't in the video, was she? She wasn't in the rap video?
No, she didn't want she was nervous to be part of it. She was on she was in the Ellen video though. If you go back to the one that the Ellen recreation, this was you go watch. She's the star at the beginning. I love her. If she's listening, I love you, Ma. Keep being bold. She's bold.
Awesome.
That's great. Well, Jake, Kirk, thanks so much for coming on here. Kirk, if you want to, you can I'll send you this audio if you want to share it on your podcast ever. That would be easy enough to do. So
cool.
Appreciate you both. Excuse me. Happy Friday. Keep the vibes positive and immaculate. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Andy dominated the comment section like always. We appreciate you, Andy Kurtz. And everyone have a great weekend. Talk to y'all later.
Peace.